Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we delve into the bourbon journey of Schott. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me welcoming my co-host Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Goeken and Schott. But no Clayton.
No Clayton. And this is bad for Clayton. So here we go.
Super bad.
This is super bad because...
This is his first show?
This is his first show he's ever going to be on
Jesus
in terms of
Christ.
real shows. Shows at the shop, those don't count, and he's been on some of those. But first, and what he doesn't realize here, this was an invitation, a life-changing invitation. These two have accepted it. He did not. But this is America's Got Talent for podcasters. So one of the 3 individuals that are slated to be on is going to be extended an offer. Should they do good? It could be 0. Beck and I are deciding all of this. We're caretakers.
Yeah.
Of this.
Is there a golden buzzer?
I have a golden buzzer and everything here.
Yeah. Wow. So we're going to do these shows. Each one has their own individual show, and then there's a collective show where we get into a Mail It In, which is our most off the rails shows ever, because there's no topic or anything like that.
Exactly.
So you get this is a little microcosm of recording for the Bourbon Daily. You guys get to try it out, and whoever does the best is going to be called on the regular. This is life changing because you are on what is probably the most downloaded show in the history of bourbon podcasts. I hear other people say their shows are bigger than that, and then they're like, we have over 400,000 downloads. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I never say anything online because I don't want to get in a pissing contest, but this show's been downloaded millions of times. Millions. So Mr.
Hold on. Millions of times?
Millions of times.
Millions.
So, yes, it is the 3rd oldest bourbon podcast that's out there. The number 1 is Bourbon Pursuit. We got hats off to those guys. Great job. They had the first bourbon podcast out there. The Bourbon Show was the 2nd bourbon podcast out there. The Bourbon Daily is the 3rd one. So going back to 2016.
Are we allowed to drink bourbon during this?
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely. There's
someone who hasn't listened to a show.
Someone once thought that we recorded this live every single day.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And they thought that I was getting blackout every single morning.
That's how you started your day.
Yeah. They thought I was blacking out. That was the beginning of my fucking day. Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Nice way to start.
Yeah.
That would be a very interesting way to start my day.
Yeah.
Very interesting, for sure.
Had to get liquored up to go talk to those people in the oil field.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Right. They're like, you come in here, you don't seem drunk. How early are you recording these? 2 a.m. From 2 to 3 we record. I sober up between 3 and 7.
Exactly. We're just getting blackout every single day.
So one has already failed in that he doesn't show up. The other 2 don't come with any sort of small talk. So again, there's already strikes against everyone that's involved in this.
I know.
Everyone's involved in this. So Beka is going to do small talk and show these guys, and hopefully they come up with something.
I tried small talk, but I had to exit stage left.
Yeah. Well,
You tried small talk?
Going on. The show wasn't even going on. See, Shot doesn't even understand how this works.
He's like, yeah, I know, I tried it. I went and grabbed show and tell.
Right.
I showed it and whiffed.
So yeah, the small talk.
That was the worst.
A question for the group.
I never said I was good at small talk.
He goes and gets a bottle during non-recording times, comes walking back in, shows us the bottle, sets it down, and then he was like, "Oh, I had a small talk."
Well, that was my small talk. You didn't even talk. Zero talking happened. You showed up, you showed us a bottle, and you shut the fuck up. That's not small talk. This isn't show and tell. No one can see us.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast. We're not even. I had someone go, "Oh, so like people like watch you guys," and I'm like, "God, no, Jesus! Like no one watches us."
Right.
That's technically like the next step in it, but like we don't like put this out on TikTok. We don't do anything like where there's clips. Really, Steve might every once in a while, but it's just your fucking mug that you put up whenever you do.
Well, sure. I mean,
it's just you,
the moneymaker. I want to see that. So yeah, good times. And I had a couple people, I didn't tell a whole lot of people about this America's Got Talent, podcast talent, I guess it should be. And but I did tell a couple, and they're like, "You're doing that on a Beka show? She might yell at them." I'm like, "Exactly. Good."
They don't call me Simon Cowell for nothing.
Right.
I got broad shoulders. I can put up with a lot.
Oh, we'll see.
Right. We'll see how it goes. All right.
And we wonder why Bo hated me for so long, Steve.
Right.
It's a badge of honor to get yelled at.
I know. That's a
You haven't
key
made
moment.
it until Beka yells at you.
Yeah. Well, that's a moment.
It's a strange thing to.
Yeah. On that note, guess what? As Schott suggested, we never thought of this before. We should drink on this show. So, what is everyone drinking? Let's start with Schott. Let's see how he does. Schott, what do you got?
I got the gym pick.
Okay, the gym pick. All right. That was legit terrible. Legit terrible.
Well, I'm boring. I can't. Okay. Let's start with it real quick. I'm old, and I can't pour and talk very well at the same time. And that's such a nice, smooth drink. I don't want it all over my floor.
So the excuses have begun.
But I do have a pour.
So this is Schott's show, by the way. It's starting out as a train wreck.
Schott show is a train wreck.
Yeah.
Schott show is a train wreck.
Zero small talk. I also can't pop.
Well, let's just say one thing. If you substitute the O in Schott and you call it the Schott show, you put an I in there, that's pretty much going to go where
the shitty show. The shit show.
Yes. We will end up in the shit show.
All right. That's where we're at, Steve.
How many times down at the store have we ended up in a shit show because I said something quite often?
Okay. Goken's next. This is the worry about Schott. He could take things over. He's a talker for sure. So let's see what Goken's got here. What do you got, Goeken?
Well, in the theme of the shows, I decided to go with a progression of where I started drinking bourbon, what type, not the bourbon, because I don't have any of the cheap stuff anymore. I've got Old 55, a wheated bourbon.
All right. Nothing there. No. Shots was actually
you notice when he started to pour, he shut up too.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, you're supposed to.
A common theme.
Well, the common theme is we're popping corks, so it's you got to get the loudest cork pop. So we got to explain
what we're doing. Yeah.
You would think, Beka, if you got an invitation to come on a show to podcast, do you think you'd at least, even if you're not a normal listener, you think you'd just listen to like an episode and be like, you better see what this is all about?
You're asking me. Let's hold on. I'm going to show a little bit of grace here to Schott, because when you asked me to be on the show, I thought no one listened to your shitty little show. But this random man asked me to be on his show, and I'm like, okay, he's got 12 listeners. Sure, why not?
Millions I've heard.
But
millions.
This was a long time ago as well, and also I wasn't like actively going to this man's very popular liquor store that he owns. And I wasn't aware who Steve Akeley was, so I didn't think I needed to listen to any shows.
Yeah.
That being said, you should fucking know better.
I just prefer to come in and just go.
Okay. So let's see.
I listen to the Swyatt shows.
The Swyatt.
So
you like the Swyatt shows, huh?
Yeah, I think I evened with Swyatt.
Okay. All right. Beka, you're next. Let's see what you got.
Since Jim did a old 55, I thought I would also do an old 55 barrel pick I've got here from the, I guess this is this is an ABV barrel pick.
Okay. Nice.
Ting, ding, ding. Let's see what this does.
Okay, that's solid. There's a cork pop right there. That's our lead. Sounds pretty good. May take this thing. We'll see. I got a bare knuckle here. This one I haven't had in a while, and it usually regenerates and gives good cork pops, even though it's been opened multiple times. So let's see what we got. It was really nice. Not as good as Beka's though. Beka did win this thing. So there you go. Cheers, Beka.
Cheers.
Cheers.
New guys have yet to get on the board here, Beka. So we'll keep track of this tonight too.
Yep.
It's all part of it. It all factors into this thing. Everything factors into whether or not they get extended a contract. And it's life changing because now you're part of the bourbon industry. You're always still going to be a bourbon fan, but now you're part of the bourbon industry if you get extended the invite. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. You've got a long way to go. We'll see. So what we'll do next, we'll take
Yes, I do, Obi-Wan.
And then when we come back, it's going to be time to learn more about Schott and his bourbon journey. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Freddie Mills, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking to Schott about his bourbon journey.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. What's the story, Schott? We hang out a lot at the ABV Barrel Shop, but I don't know that I've ever heard your beginnings of bourbon. When did you get into this stuff?
I got into bourbon late. I started as a Scotch drinker. You refer to it as dirty sock water.
Scotch whiskey.
I don't think I've ever said that, but I've said a lot of other disparaging things against Scotch.
Yes.
Not necessarily that, but yes.
Well, bourbon, in my family, it really wasn't bourbon. It was all Jack Daniels.
Uh-huh.
And Jack Daniels and myself were arch enemies.
Okay.
We would come in and go out the same way it came in.
Mm.
So somebody offered me a Glenmorangie, and it stayed down. Then I started branching off it. Seriously.
This is
started
very
going off
graphic.
in different versions, different aisle, different regions, from the peaty to the smoky. I could drink it all. And when I drink a bourbon, it's like they all taste the same. When you drink big label bourbon, they all taste the same to me.
Right.
I didn't start drinking bourbon really until I wandered into your store.
Okay.
Good bourbon.
Probably, maybe a couple of years before that, because I started doing the tours in the late teens, and I noticed that different places had different flavors. And if you would go to, if you went to Willett, it tastes different than going to other places. Or if you went to, when you got away from just the standard flavor,
Right.
the blackberry, the whatever, and
The
you start
blackberry,
drinking the single barrels and the other things along the way. There was so many different flavors involved. There's such a huge flavor profile between everything else. And it was like, okay, I need to try more and try more. Then I started dabbling in collecting or buying.
Mm-hmm.
But technically it's not collecting, because I just buy and drink them as they come available, and when I want to go to something different. But my bourbon has only been probably the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge aficionado for a long period of time, but in a short period of time, I've learned so much from just going to the store and talking to other people, and how different things do different, different staves will do different this and that.
Right.
And I've just gotten to a point where it's like, I don't even want to look at Scotch, because the flavor profile with just different things has made it so much more enjoyable.
Okay.
What has been, or what was the first bourbon that you had once you started that made you go, oh, maybe I do actually like bourbon? Or do you remember?
Probably the first one I had that I really liked was actually a rye.
Okay.
And it was, I would say it might have been a Redwood Empire.
Okay.
The Green Giant, I think is what it's called.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
Green Giant.
And the taste on the front end and the taste on the back end was so different. You get so many different flavors than you can get with Scotch.
Hey now.
Yeah, like that old joke.
Goeken, what do you want to know about this guy's bourbon journey? It's all over the place. He was drinking Green Giant bourbon for a while.
Does it taste green beanie?
Yeah.
My question was, I think he answered it. Was he a rye hater to start with? Did you go through wheat or regular bourbon, or?
I think I really went rye to wheat to the heavy rye bourbon, if that makes sense, because the rye kind of gave you that what they call it, the Kentucky hug, where the wheat is so smooth. It's like, for me, it's like an after dinner. It's almost like a dessert drink, because it's so smooth on the backside. It's just a smoother bourbon for me anyway. And that's when I started getting more of the heavy rye bourbons that I enjoyed more and more and more.
Okay.
What is your favorite flavor profile on bourbon? Like, what's the favorite note that you have that when you do taste it, you're excited that that particular bourbon has that note to it?
The butterscotch flavor.
Butterscotch, that's a good one.
But you do get that on a lot of wheated bourbons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the butterscotch profile. Caramel is up there, but they're very similar in taste, let's be honest.
Yeah.
What I really like is and it's not necessarily that part of the profile. I like when you taste it and the front is real smooth, but on the back end, you've had something.
It hangs with you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I hate the most is when I drink a bourbon and I drink it and it's like, oh, that's good flavor, and there's absolutely no finish.
Then it's gone.
It's like
thin on the back end.
Yeah, it's like, why did I drink this? Because I don't remember it now.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably maybe why you like Scotch so much, because I always joke about Scotch, like the Scotch that I personally like, you smell like it for like a whole day after.
Right.
Like, and you walk into the house and you're like, who's drinking Scotch? Like, that's the Scotch that I like to drink. And it's like, it's me. That's what I'm drinking Scotch around here.
Right.
And so that's maybe like why you enjoy that, because Scotch, the good Scotch anyways, sticks around for a while, and you just like can still taste it, although you have Percival's here.
Percival's going to be joining us in a second.
Sir Percival, to you.
But that maybe is why, just because you started with Scotch, and so you like that nice long finish that you get off of some bourbons.
Yeah. As soon as Clayton gets in here, we'll talk to him. In the meantime, we'll introduce him in a second here. In the meantime, I'll tell you what, you talked about notes. I like a good cherry note, and just bought a barrel with a great cherry note called the Cherry Bomb from Demetrius Kane. It's one he had in his, bottle by the, pull out of the barrel and buy by the bottle. And somebody was down there doing that. I got to taste it. I was like, I want to buy the rest of that barrel. It's really good. I like a good cherry note, as Beka knows, because Bombergers is the king of ones that they always find barrels that have a cherry note. And if you're ever at Beka's house, where she's sitting right now for you guys, go up 2 shelves, and on her right, or on our right as we look at her, it's there. She usually hides it behind like 2 or 3 bottles. It's there. Just move those bottles to the side, you'll find it. She tries to hide, but I know where to dig. I dig.
I'm going to make a fucking secret door in here somewhere where you can't find stuff.
No.
Or I'm going to start swapping stuff in bottles, like stuff that I'm going to start switching things around. I'm going to start putting like tequila, like aged tequila into the bourbons, and I'm going to just swap everything around. I'm going to make your life fucking hell, Steve.
You're about due to get another Bombergers, by the way. You're getting low.
I barely got any the last time.
Yeah, Clayton has joined us. Clayton, we're doing America's Got Podcast Talent, so we've got you three trying out for a regular gig here. You've put yourself, you're back against the wall here by you showed up a little late, to be honest.
A little late, a little underdressed. I don't even have my hair done. It's just I'm off to a rough start here.
Very unprofessional. Yeah. That's going to be some points against you just right off the bat. Let's just be honest.
After the last show, Beka and I are we're gonna huddle up, and we're gonna huddle up, and we'll decide who gets extended.
We'll be voting.
Lifetime agreement. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Nobody can get a golden buzzer.
No. Maybe Beka. Beka will just yell at you if you know you're. Yeah, that's key. Clayton, we're doing a show about Schott here. Do you have any questions for him about his bourbon journey?
Yeah, so I guess when did you start? I guess how old were you when you really kind of got started?
I was late. That's what we were just talking about. It was in the teens, so I was in my 40s.
Most of us heard it.
Yeah.
The ones that shut up on time.
We did.
So his first one that he ever had was the Jolly Green Giant Redwood Empire one. So which
Green
we all know
bourbon.
what that is. It was a green bean flavored bourbon.
Yes.
Little bacony.
Aged in green beans.
Almonds.
There was a very good corn note to it.
Cream of mushroom mixed in there. Schott, what's the most expensive bourbon you've ever had?
What's the most expensive?
Retail or secondary?
Secondary.
I don't buy secondary. I'm lucky.
Okay, how about this? It doesn't have to be that you bought. This is just taste. This is tasted. This means you can be in a fucking bar and you saw that and you can buy it for $50 a shot or some bullshit like that.
Okay.
Whatever it is. What's the most expensive one that you have maybe purchased yourself for just a drink of it, or someone else has bought it for you, or whatever? Just most expensive.
A bar would either be the Boss Hog or a Bombergers.
Okay.
Oh. Bombergers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had a few Bombergers. It's a very wonderful bourbon.
Yeah, people bring it in the shop from time to time because they know I like it, so they'll bring it into the shop and let me taste it. So yeah.
Are they trying to get something?
No. They're just trying to be a friend.
Get into Steve's good graces.
Yeah, I mean,
and here's the trick: you won't be in his good graces ever. Steve doesn't have good graces.
This is true.
He literally doesn't.
Graces.
Yeah.
I say Steve and I have been friends forever. I've never been in Steve's good graces.
He steals her bourbon.
Yeah,
mine's from minute to minute.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, well there you go.
I can't say.
There's Schott's show, so we'll see. We'll see if this is enough to hold up for him. We'll see if he earns his way.
We can go longer. Come on, I got a whole lot inside of me.
Okay.
The virgins would say that, wouldn't they, Steve? No, I can go again. I promise.
Give me 5 minutes. That's all I need is 5 minutes.
No. Yeah, see how this show could have gone on for like 2 hours, but I get a feel for things when it starts to dwindle down. So you'll know how long your show is by how you'll know how good you did by how long I let your show go on. So that's part of managing a show. Yeah, Becca knows she's had to run shows.
I've had to run shows before, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Well,
so there you go.
Do you open every bottle when you get it?
Do I open every bottle? If it's something I really enjoy, I do. I probably have 40, 45 bottles open right now.
Okay.
So I don't buy to hoard unless it's something really good.
How many bottles do you have?
How many bottles? How many different?
Yeah.
Just bottles.
How many bottles do you have?
145 different.
So you have 45 open, but you have 145.
Yeah, because there's certain things that I have that I haven't had a chance to open because I rotate through as if I don't have a second bottle of something I really enjoy, then I start my rotation through. And I bought a whole bunch before I built my little room here that so I'm trying to play catch up now. So
there you go. There's insight into Schott.
Yes,
there it
we'll
is.
see if that's enough to get them into an invite to be a regular on the Bourbon Daily. It's life changing. You walk into the distillery like I'm a regular on the Bourbon Daily. Whoa, yes, sir, Mr. Schott. So we'll see if that happens for you. Where can people find you, Schott?
Where can people find me? Daily or on weekends?
Okay, next up, where can people find you? Clayton, go ahead. Go ahead. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You can find me on Facebook at the Jefferson County Bourbon Collective and on Instagram at Jeff Co Bourbon Collective.
All right, Goeken.
I'm not real social, but I am on Facebook at Jim Goeken.
Don't you have to do one of those accounts where you share with your wife because someone got in trouble?
No, we share an email address.
Oh, that's where I'm confused with.
Yeah.
Someone got in trouble at some point. That was someone did something inappropriate, so we got to share. It's like, okay.
We just didn't want to have to check to.
That's actually fair. I do get that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Becca, how about you?
I'm on electronic, but I couldn't tell you how to get to me. Swear to God. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat.
You would piling up.
And I have
you would think that Clayton would have been in the worst position here because he showed up 3 minutes ago. The guy who the show is about has he's been just digging holes. I mean,
that's what makes me perfect for it. Everybody needs.
I'm not sure Schott's going to make the second show, much less get extended an invite.
Jesus.
We'll see if he makes it through all 4 shows we're recording. All right, Becca, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop. All the folks here hang out at the ABV Barrel Shop. You never know who's going to be there. Anybody could be hanging out at the bar one day, and the best is to just come in and see us. We're in the St. Louis suburb of Arnold. Or if you want to find out what events we've got going on, check out online at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnets, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Adios.
Till next time.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.